this computer. When you record, does it decide which face it shows up, or does it always go like a gallery scene? Or does it depend? You said
It depends what view. If you do speaker view, then it'll record whoever's face is speaking. But if you leave it like normal, it'll record everybody.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do it on speaker. Okay, so all of you in the except for I guess Andres, you probably didn't get it. In the Zoom invite, do you guys see that there was a link? Not a link, sorry, an attachment to a Word document.
Did we just receive that in our invitation right now?
Yeah, it says in my invitation,
Yes.
please open link. So if you guys can all open up the Word document.
Okay.
Andres, I just sent it to you again.
Lisa, can you please send it to me, Amanda, as well? Again, I just got the link from the chat, but I don't have any more.
Okay, anybody else? Just to,
Thank you.
Me too, please.
Alicia?
And Gurpreet, please.
Gurpreet, sorry. I was looking down.
I got one.
Anybody else? Alicia, you got yours?
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm gonna open it up in Word. And then I can share it. I'm gonna make it super big. Okay, back to Zoom, back to sharing. It's quite a process. Okay, so actually, you know what? I'm gonna not share for a second. So I want to start off with saying that when Nadine, Nancy, Shannon, Desiree, Cassie, all of us play therapists at Crossroads. When we took the play therapy course, it was like an online 40-hour, and we just watched videos, recordings. And it was good because you could do it at your own pace. But it wasn't so good in that you couldn't really ask questions like interactively. And then, you know, they dumped all this psychoeducational material on you, but didn't apply any practical skills or resources, tools. And then also it was just basic play therapy. And so they didn't touch on autism or ADHD or the various different, like it's so multifaceted, right? So, and all kids are different. And the reason why they're coming is likely they have some sort of diagnosis, whether it be anxiety, trauma. So I found that really interesting that they never actually, you know, provided any kind of support. So what we decided to, so then, you know, we've been trying to find more therapy, play therapy programs, but because of COVID, everybody's shut down, and the only one that's currently really offering anything substantial is through the Justice Institute. But this is the last time she's teaching the course and she's retiring. So basically nothing really exists out there. So what I did was I went to CCPA and I put like a templated basically course certification program together, and they approved it. So nothing has been done like what we're gonna do, and now it's the big reveal. Now I'm gonna show my screen. So it's gonna be, it could be a little less, it could be a little bit more than 40 hours. That remains to be seen. So the first part is going to include 20 hours of PowerPoint presentation, topics and lectures on the following key researches and include the following topics. So Gary Landreth and Virginia Axline, they are the two basically main researchers, writers, the key gurus in the play therapy world. So everybody sort of follows their theoretical orientation as well as sort of their beliefs on play. So we did the initial presentation with the Kelowna group, and it was very shortened. So what we're going to do is we're going to add like probably about 4 more hours to the presentation we did, because I think Kelowna people, we did it super fast. I think we did it in 3 hours, but it would have been better if it probably was a 4-hour. So then we're going to add more PowerPoint, and then we're going to, the first time, for the first go around, we're probably going to record it live in Langley, because just having interaction. So the whole day will likely 1 or 2 days will be recorded, and we'll just, it's basically lecture style, and then we'll break it up into different chunks. And then for those of you who want to take it, who aren't local, then of course we'll have it all video recorded so you can watch it in segments. So that's going to be the theoretical, the psychoeducation portion of the course. Then part 2 is we're going to do 20 hours of individual modules on the following topics. So if we end up with more than 20, you guys can pick and choose which topics you want to listen to, right? So it's going to be sort of you add to your cart, which is kind of cool. But so far right now, the plan is Shannon is going to do parent self-regulation and communication, anxiety, OCD, and depression, classroom and community support, positive behavioral changes, time in, time out. That's just basically on timeouts and how to do them. Autism, FASD, and cognitive processing delays. Nadine is going to work on ADHD, somatic experiences, and progressive there's a mistake there. Relaxation techniques. Using service animals in therapy, rejection sensitivity disorder, brain development, and social skills. And then Nancy is going to put together modules on promoting psychoeducation and neurodiversity, cognitive behavioral therapy, oppositional defiance disorder, using the stand tray in the therapeutic room. I didn't even know what this meant. You knew. Anyways, poop and pee. Kids who have fear of pooping and peeing or could have incontinence issues, fear of sleeping and other issues around sleep. And then I'm going to do presentations on following a family with special needs from birth to adulthood. Most of you have watched that presentation, but I'll re-record it because the audience isn't going to just be for BC. The course that we're developing will be national, right? So I don't want to just speak about BC programs. I'll be expanding that. Advocating for the child in the school community, third-party funding. Marianne will do a couple modules on parent alienation and high conflict divorce and separation. So that is incredible. I don't think that any of us have ever had that amount of resources that you can access in one place specifically to work with children. And then part 3, this is really exciting. We felt that as part of the course, we wanted to provide particular textbooks and reading material. So these are the 4 books that we'll be using for the course, and they will be provided to you as part of the course. So we'll basically put packages together. All the PowerPoints and Zoom recorded sessions will be offered to you to keep and review in your library, all rights reserved. So in other words, we're going to give you access to them so you can rewatch them later. When we did our training with Kids Inc., they didn't let us keep it. We had to sign into their portal, and then like when they sold the company and shut down, we lost everything, all of our educational materials. So providing you, sign an agreement that you don't forward them to anybody else who hasn't paid for it, then you guys can have them. But the most exciting part is the next point, which is after you guys are done the course, as part of the cost of the course, we're going to provide 4 peer consultation live meetings. So in other words, once a week, we're going to probably offer supervision specifically because now you've done the course, you're like, okay, awesome, I want to go work with kids. And then you're like, oh, I had this kid that would leave, I don't know, say the kid went under the table, would never come out. What do I do? What do I do with this child? How do I create a treatment plan? What does that look like? What does the case conceptualization look like? So that you'll be able to all come, just like you do for intern supervision, you'll be able to just sign up when you want to, when you have cases that you want to discuss. And then, of course, after the 4, you can continue because as we build and sell the program, the idea is that we have enough people that we can run it basically 52 weeks a year. So you just come on and if you want to for peer supervision, it'll be cheaper, of course. Or you can book a session, let's say you have 4 or 5 clients, right? And then you want to talk to Darlene or to Shannon or Nadine, any of the play therapy supervisors, and you can spend an hour with them just discussing the 4 cases. So that you'll have access to. And then the idea behind this, so most typically when you do EMDR or when you do any kind of like an AEGP course, any of these like advanced therapy techniques or interventions that you basically want to take these courses, they're in and around $1,500 to $2,000. And so if you think about how many hours that I have to pay Nadine, Shannon, Nancy, my time, Marianne's time to put this all together, what we've decided to do is price it out around $2,000, and that will include all the textbooks, all the material, and the 4 supervision, the peer supervisions. Now, granted, a lot of you, especially the interns who've just started, you know, that's a lot of money, right, to put out. But you guys have to figure out your specialization, and how you're gonna grow your practice is you have to find a niche. So right now, my all of my play therapists are pretty much full. So this is why we're fast tracking this program. So we're gonna get this program together. The ladies who are working on it are, because they're play therapists over spring break, they're not gonna be as busy. So we're gonna put this all together, have everything videotape put together, so that in April, anybody who wants to take it can start signing up, and then you have the whole summer. And then come September, right? That's the busy time for play therapy. Boom, we're all trained and up and running. So regardless of whatever you're going to do once you graduate, you have to choose a specialization and take a course to be able to do that and offer that. The advantage is that if you do take this course, then you are going to be a certified play therapist, and we can actively advertise you, and I can tell you your caseload will be full within no time. We already have wait lists, right? Like people can't even get in to see Shannon, and sometimes for over a month to 6 weeks. The other sort of value added bonus is what we can do is for those of you that have extended health, then you can pay for the course and we can just give you receipts under your dependents. Right? So you get $500 per kid, $500 for yourself, similar to how you would write off your supervision, right? Same idea. So you can use some of your extended health to be able to pay for this program, which you wouldn't be able to do with if you took any course somewhere else. And or if you didn't have extended health, then Marianne and I would be open to like basically paying for the course for you and then just take a little bit off your check every month until it's paid off. The same thing that we do that we've offered you if you guys want to incorporate, right? We'll pay for it up front, especially the interns that are just starting, and then we just take a little bit off your check. And we work that out with you guys on a one-to-one basis. And then also, if you want to pay for the course, you could pay for it like on credit card through Jane if you wanted as well. For those of you that, you know, anyway, so those are some options for you in terms of payment. Marianne and I are certainly willing to work with any of you, so just approach us personally if you want us to help you out to find a way to pay for the program if cost is an issue. The other great thing about this course is when you graduate, you have to have 36 hours of ECE credits within a 3-year period to be able to renew your license with CCPA. So I strategically did it at 40 hours. So basically, if you do this course, and if you do the course, let's say you're not actually quite, maybe your regulatory body hasn't come through yet, your registration. Well, then once it comes through and you become an active CCPA full-fledged member, then I'll just create your certificate to be the after, right? So then basically you take this course, you don't have to do any more training, you're good to go, your license is good for the next 3 years. Actually, 3 years after you renew. So basically for 6 years, you don't have to worry about doing any more education. Although you should still do more education. But you know, that's certainly an advantage, right? To be able to do that. And then like I said, after, if we decide to put out more modules, then you could just, as I said, take more courses with those modules. And we may or may not charge for them, depending if you already took the play therapy certification, then we may, some of them will be free, some of them will be free workshops. Maybe you guys will want to do a module yourself and we can add it to our collection. Right, so you guys can present on topics that you feel are relevant, or if you had some really cool, interesting case studies or some of your clients that you wanted to present on and record, right? So it's basically a model that we can all work collectively together, right, to help children and the people that we serve. So that's my spiel. Sorry, Amy had a question there. I should have hand up. I just saw it right now. Go ahead, Amy. Where's she gone? Anybody else have any questions? Anybody feel like having to pay for the course is a barrier at all? I'm sure you guys have all been looking up EMDR and Gottman and all those, right? So they're all
Yeah, like honestly, I think it's actually a pretty fair price, especially with all the other courses that can be offered in the community. $2,000 in the grand scheme of things for your training and to get further up your knowledge is not the worst thing in the world, in my opinion.
And when you think about it, I have Nadine on the here, and I'm gonna put her on the spot, but she works on average. I mean, she works very long, like she works 30 hours a week, but when you average out over Christmas and spring break and stuff, over a 52-week period, she works on average 20 to 25 hours a week. And she,
Mhm.
as a play therapist, is making over 6 figures.
Mm.
And that, what, took you 2 years to build your practice, Nadine? You were actually full about a year ago. Took you a year, 1 year. Yeah, so Nadine is the top performer for the entire organization this year. Yay, Nadine. So it's very lucrative, and also we charge more. So for any kids that are AFU, CKW, Variety Club, we don't charge 150, we charge 160.
Mm.
So keep that in mind, you're actually, it's a premium price, and we'll probably go higher. Since as the competition decreases, because there are no there's not a lot of clinics that do play therapy. So it's an area where we can drive the price of whatever we want to charge. The other thing too is that the beauty of also seeing kids is if they are siblings. So first of all, you do the first meeting and it's with the parent, right? So you get your first session right off the hop with the parent.
Mhm.
Then let's say you have 8 sessions with the one child. If the second child needs help, you can be guaranteed, because that parent has built a rapport with you from the first parent session, they're going to
Yeah.
start with another child. So Nadine, you often see 2 children from one family. Yeah. Yeah, and then Chelsea's not on the call today, but I'll send her the video. But Chelsea could also, because she has a service animal. So Nadine has a service animal. She has 2 of them that she brings to the clinic, and she incorporates that because kids love animals. So if any of you have a passion for dogs or service animals in general, then you can incorporate that into your practice too, which is kind of cool. That's why Nadine's going to do one of the modules on pet therapy. So I think that what do you guys,
Sorry,
so go ahead.
I had a question. In regards to the animal therapy, do we need to incorporate it into our thing, or is that something that we don't necessarily have to do?
No, some days Nadine will not bring her dogs at all. It just depends on the clients.
But like any clients, like I'm allergic to dogs. So would I be able to not do like animal therapy at all, or
You wouldn't, no,
okay?
you don't have to, no,
I was just wondering, is it a requirement to do that? No, okay,
no, yeah.
okay.
It's only
I'd
if you
rather-
want to. It's only if you want to.
Okay, perfect.
Kids who are highly anxious, yeah, depending on, it can be very calming, right? Especially trauma, kids with trauma, or if they're nonverbal. But you don't have
No,
to.
it's a great idea. I just would rather not my face be puffed up and full while doing it.
Absolutely. And Marianne prefers that I don't bring my 180-pound brown Newfoundlander to work. If you do bring animals to work, there are rules around it. You have to sign a contract. It can bring about a lot of problems. So, but right now I think we have, is it 3 or 4 service dogs right now, Nadine?
My 2, Chelsea's 1 for sure. Sometimes Shannon brings Nala. And those are at the moment the only ones. I know Lisa Lowe was hoping that her dog would start to settle down and fall into that role, but I'm not sure how it's going.
Oh. How do you guys feel about doing everything online, like watching videos? I think it works really well because you can do it at your own pace.
Yeah, and I prefer it too, because like if we needed to go out, like say if we all needed to go to Langley for this training, that would be difficult.
Yeah. The only thing I haven't worked out yet, Nadine, and we didn't talk about it. Now we could do like after the course is done, we could do an exam, right, on paper. Or I kind of threw out the idea. I was talking to my husband last night about it, and I said it would be kind of cool to do like basically like an interview, like a case study, like so it would be like a face-to-face final. So we would do an interview and ask you a question, and we could even do it as a group, something like that that's interactive, so that we all learn from each other. So rather than asking a question and like, oh, you got it right, you got it wrong, we would have maybe like a group exam, something like that, where we would all sort of answer the same question. And then we would all come back, so Nadine would be involved, I would be involved, and we'd all come back. Well, actually, in this case, you would do this, because there's no right or wrong answer. Right, it's all subjective, which is what I hate about exams, it doesn't reflect your true knowledge. So I was thinking that, and what we have to satisfy CCPA because it's a certification program to have an exam. So I think what we would do is just do a sort of a big group Zoom exam. And if like you were answering questions and we're like, okay, we have some concerns, then we would reach out to you individually and maybe encourage you to get some more supervision.
Mhm.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that idea versus being stressed out to write a test?
I think that's a great idea because when you can also bounce off ideas off one another, you learn so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So think about the opportunity. Think about approach me if you want to get some creative in terms of billing and how to pay for it. Or any other concerns, and or if you are interested, then let me know, because then we can sort of get get a handle on how soon we really have to have it all done and pushed out. And also when if you are interested, let me know when you want to take it. If you don't want to take it in April, if you're thinking, okay, I want to take it in September, 4 months from now, it doesn't matter. Not from now, I mean from next fall. Because it'll all be recorded, so you just take it when you take it, you know what I mean? But I would like to have one cohort that's actively working through the material in the spring and over the summer, so that in September we're good to go, because it's very quiet over the summer. Poor Nadine and Nancy and Shannon, they all really struggled last summer because it was the first summer that we didn't have COVID, and so everybody was off. So we really hadn't anticipated that. I don't know if some of you were around in the summer because we were freaking out because like the clinic was dead. So that would be a good time for you guys. And then also, if you do the course, you could count it as indirect hours, because it could be part and parcel of our internship program. So you could count all those hours as well. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay, well,
Sorry, just to clarify, there will be 4 sessions of supervision and they don't necessarily have to be taken consecutively, right?
no, my goal is that if we market this properly and get a lot of people to sign up, then basically we're going to offer the supervision just like we do with intern every week, and people just sign up and drop in. In the beginning, it might be a little bit more structured, right? I'll be like, okay, we'll do one a month or something, right? Then you can join in. But I have audacious goals, so hopefully we can sell this program nationally. And then, make sure we have supervision every week. So that's a little bit up in the air. I don't have a definitive answer on that yet. But if you all email me and say you're signing up, then I can tell you, yeah, we can. Okay, well, I will leave it at that. Thanks again so much for you guys joining me today, and for your interest and for your passion for working with kids. And like I said, just contact me individually if you have more questions, or if you want to put a plan together on how to get the certification under your belt. Okay, well, carry on.
Awesome.
You guys are my last appointment for the day. I am headed to bed.
Yeah.
Just to make well, and I probably won't bug any of you the rest of the day.
Awesome.
Thanks,
All right,
Lisa.
thanks for
Thank
joining us.
you.
So much, Lisa.
Okay, take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.